K9 dog refused to move. Then officers uncovered the truth. It was a busy Monday morning at Chicago's O'Hare International Airport. Travelers rushed through security. Suitcases rolled across the floor. Babies cried. People talked into their phones. Everything seemed normal. Until the dog barked. Not just any dog. His name was Bravo, a strong, smart Belgian Malinois. He had been trained to find danger. Explosives, drugs, hidden weapons, Bravo could sniff it all out. But this time, he barked for something else. Bravo's handler, Officer Nathan Reyes, froze when he heard that bark. It wasn't routine, it was loud, sharp, echoing through Terminal B like a fire alarm. Travelers turned, security tensed. Bravo had stopped in front of a man. He looked important. Expensive suit, clean-shaven, glasses, leather briefcase. Standing beside him was a little boy, maybe 5 years old, with light hair and big brown eyes. The boy held a worn teddy bear like it was the only thing keeping him safe. "Easy, Bravo," Nathan said softly. But Bravo wouldn't stop barking. The man smiled calmly. "Is something wrong, officer?" Nathan stepped closer. "Just a quick check, sir. Name and documents, please." "I'm Victor Alden," the man said. "U.S. citizen. Traveling to Switzerland with my adopted son. His name is Leo." He pulled out passports and adoption papers. Everything looked official. Nathan scanned them. They matched. But something still felt wrong. Leo didn't smile. He didn't speak. When another officer crouched to say hi, Leo didn't even blink. He looked like he was somewhere else, locked away inside his own mind. "He's just shy," Victor said smoothly. "He's been through trauma. Loud places scare him." But Nathan noticed something strange. The man never looked at Leo. Not once. Not like a father. More like he was guarding a piece of luggage. Nathan's gut twisted. He trusted Bravo's instincts more than any paper. This dog had never been wrong before. "Sir, I'm going to ask you to come with us for a private screening," Nathan said. Victor nodded. "Of course, no problem at all." They walked down a hallway toward the inspection room. As they passed a mirrored wall, Nathan watched carefully. Still, the man didn't glance at the boy. In the control room, techs ran the documents through advanced systems. Biometric scans, European passport checks. Nathan waited outside, standing beside Bravo, who now sat calmly by the inspection room door. 5 minutes passed, then 10. Suddenly, a loud beep came from the terminal. "Alert. Invalid child passport. Real name, Leo Morel. French citizen. Reported missing 73 days ago." Nathan closed his eyes. Bravo hadn't barked at a bomb. He barked at a lie. And in that moment, Nathan knew this wasn't just a customs check. It was the start of something much bigger. Victor Alden sat in the airport interview room, calm as ever. He didn't seem scared. He didn't yell or argue. He just waited like he was sure this would all blow over. Across from him, little Leo sat in a chair, silent, staring at the floor, still clutching his old teddy bear. Officer Nathan Reyes looked through the documents again. Everything looked perfect on paper, but now they knew the truth. The boy's name wasn't Leo Alden, it was Leo Morel. He wasn't adopted. He was kidnapped. Nathan had questions, but Leo wouldn't answer. He didn't cry. He didn't speak. He looked like someone had told him to stay quiet no matter what. Nathan called in someone who might help. Her name was Harper Lena, kind and smart social worker. She had worked with kids who had gone through tough times. She didn't ask questions right away. She just sat next to Leo and gave him a juice box, a sheet of paper, and some crayons. Leo took the crayons slowly and started to draw. First, he drew a dog, then a plane, then a man with big dark eyebrows and no smile. Harper gently pointed to the man in the picture. "Is that your dad?" Leo didn't answer. Then she asked, "Is that the man you came with?" Leo gripped the crayon tight, then let it fall to the table. He whispered one word, "Number." That tiny word hit like thunder. Officer Reyes felt it deep in his chest. Harper's eyes filled with tears. Outside the room, Bravo quietly walked in and sat by Leo's feet. The dog didn't bark or move. He just rested his head on the boy's leg. For the first time, Leo smiled. That's when Harper leaned in and asked softly, "Your name is Leo, right?" And he nodded. "Can you tell me where your mommy is?" Leo looked at the floor. His voice was barely there. "She's in Marseille," he whispered. "She told me if I ever got lost, to say I was looking for her." And just like that, the whole truth began to come out. Victor had lied. The adoption papers were fake. The travel plans were a cover-up. Leo's mother, Camille Morel, had been searching for him for months. French police hadn't helped. No one believed her story until now. Victor sat in silence during another round of questioning. When asked why he took the boy, he said, "She didn't know how to raise him. I gave him a better life. A real chance." But Nathan and Harper both knew love doesn't look like control. And kids don't lie with their eyes. Back in the waiting area, a call came through. Camille was alive, and she was on her way. For the first time since the whole nightmare began, Officer Reyes let out a deep breath. Bravo sat beside him, tail wagging gently. He had known all along.
Later that evening, the airport became quiet, but inside the security center, emotions were building fast. Camille Morel, Leo's mother, had finally arrived from France. She ran down the hallway the moment she saw her son through the glass window. "Leo," she cried. The little boy looked up, and for the first time, his eyes lit up. He ran straight into her arms and held on tight, so tight like he never wanted to let go again. Everyone watching felt their hearts twist. Officer Nathan Reyes had seen many things on the job, but never a hug like that. Even Bravo, the loyal canine dog, stayed still, watching quietly with soft eyes. Meanwhile, Victor Alden was being taken to a holding cell. His confident look was gone. He now looked pale, nervous and sweaty. He was no longer in control. Back in the meeting room, Camille sat beside Leo, holding his hand. Harper Lynn, the kind social worker, stayed nearby. Leo whispered, "He told me Mommy had died, that I had to come with him, or the bad people would get me." Tears filled Camille's eyes. She squeezed his hand. "Did you believe him?" Harper asked gently. Leo shook his head. Then he picked up a crayon and drew one more picture. It was a teddy bear. "I didn't believe him," Leo said, "because Mommy would never let me leave without my bear." That small sentence hit everyone in the room. The next day, the courtroom filled with quiet tension. Reporters stood outside. Inside, Victor sat in a suit, his hands now in handcuffs. No smiles, no lies left. The judge called the case. The room fell silent. Camille stood and spoke first. Her voice shook, but her message was strong. "For months, I told the police my son was taken. They told me I was overreacting, that I had no proof, that I was just a single mother. But I knew my child. I knew he was in danger." She looked at Leo, then at the dog sitting by his feet. No one listened, except this dog. Bravo didn't move, but the weight of her words filled the room. Then Leo stepped forward. He clutched his teddy bear in one hand, and his other hand rested on Bravo's head. "He barked because he knew I was scared," Leo said. "He saved me." The judge listened carefully to every word. The evidence was strong. The fake documents, the lies, the travel plans, everything pointed to one thing. Victor Alden was guilty of kidnapping, of lying, of almost stealing a child forever. As the judge read the verdict, Camille closed her eyes. Leo leaned into her side. Bravo gave a soft wag of his tail. The courtroom didn't cheer, no one clapped, but the silence felt loud, like justice had finally spoken, and it had all started with one bark. After the courtroom decision, everything started to change. Victor Alden was taken away in handcuffs. He was found guilty of kidnapping, lying with fake papers, and trying to take Leo out of the country. He would stay in prison for a long time. But for Camille Morel, her real story was just beginning. For the first time in over 2 months, she and Leo were back together. They stayed at a quiet family center just outside the city. It was a safe place where kids could heal. Camille barely slept the first night, not because she was scared, but because she couldn't stop looking at her son. He was really there, breathing, safe. Leo didn't say much, but he smiled more. He played with his teddy bear, and more than anything, he stayed close to Bravo, the brave canine dog who had saved him. Bravo didn't bark or chase, he just stayed by Leo's side. That was enough. Officer Nathan Rise visited often. One afternoon, he brought news. Bravo is retiring, he said. He's done his service. They're looking for someone to adopt him. Camille looked at Leo, who was brushing Bravo's fur gently. What if we adopted him? She asked. Nathan blinked. Are you sure? I don't just want to, Camille said softly. I need to. Leo sleeps better when Bravo's near. So do I. Soon the papers were signed. Bravo wasn't just a hero, he was now family. Weeks passed. Camille and Leo moved into a small home in a quiet neighborhood. There was a sunny backyard, a porch with flower pots, and a sign near the door that said, "A four-legged hero lives here." Leo laughed again. He chased Bravo in the yard. He made up stories and drew pictures of a boy and a dog who saved the world. At night, when bad dreams tried to creep in, Bravo would curl up at the foot of Leo's bed. His steady breathing told Leo he was safe. And that was all Leo needed. Camille also began to speak out. She was invited to a conference for child protection in Washington, D.C. She told her story to a room full of judges, officers, and social workers. She said, "Everyone told me I was wrong, that I was just emotional, but one dog believed me when no one else did." There wasn't a dry eye in the room. Back at home, Leo stopped having nightmares. He started talking more, smiling more, living more. One day he told Camille, "When I grow up, I want to be like Bravo." She smiled. "You want to be brave?" Leo shook his head. "No, I want to be someone who listens when no one else does." Camille hugged him tight, and outside, Bravo lay in the sunshine, tail thumping. He had done his job. Now he was just a dog, a hero, a best friend, a piece of the family they never thought they'd have again.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Love Tales of Tales, for long, heartwarming pets and animals, love stories that stay with you long after they end.